Hello paper crafters, I'm Sunny Sky and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And today we're going to be creating this simple but card that has a lot of pop and action using a couple of images from the Beautiful You stamp set, a couple of the greetings, as well as the Butterfly Framelits dies. Now you can create this card with a piece of 8.5 by 11. You can see that our square here is 8.5 wide and only 8.5 long because it's a square. And so you can get it from 8.5 by 11, but I've used 12 by 12 because then I can use my designer series papers and get 3 extra sheets out of it that I can use to decorate the inside. So if you use a coordinating color or the back side of your designer series paper, you'll see there's a layered square here. There's a layered square on the inside left. And then this one here, a square that's been cut into 2 triangles. And then I just used another sheet of Whisper White in there as another layer. So those are the dimensions if you'd like to cut out of 12 by 12. We're just using 8.5 by 8.5 square. And when we do that, it means that when you fold it in half, it'll be 4.25 wide, which means it can fit in a standard size envelope. So I'm just using my scoring tool to score it at 4.25 and 4.25. And then after I've scored it in both those locations, I'm going to come back through, and you could use your paper cutter to score as well. I'm going to come back through and I'm going to cut one of these lines that's at 4.25, and I'm just going to cut it to the center. So I can see the scoring line there, and I'm just cutting one of those. It's simpler, I think, to just score it on all the sides both way through and then come back and cut it. So then what you're going to do is just fold this in half where you've cut it to create, it kind of looks like an L. And that is the easiest way to score that additional fold that you need. And I'm going to go ahead and just fold in those lines that I've already scored to create that fold, to create that crease in the paper. Okay, so, and then if you just reverse the fold of that diagonal score line, and then we just glue these 2 pieces together. Sometimes it is easier to go ahead and put all the layers on your card before you glue the pieces together, but I'm just going to go ahead and put them together now just so that you can see the construction of this. Really so simple, isn't it? And that's basically the card. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and get our other layered pieces. I've already cut everything out for us today. So we've got our 3 sheets, and I just used a coordinating color because I'm using this designer series paper that's just got the same colors and different backgrounds on either side. So I'm going to go ahead and tape up 2 of these and adhere them right to my card. Oh, and you know what? I do see that layered thing there. Let's see. So if I was thinking about it in advance, I might have folded it up the other way so you wouldn't see that layer at the bottom, but it really doesn't show up too much. I'm just going to layer that on the front, and then on the inside I'm going to do it on the front facing side of the inside, just because the greeting appears on the right side that way. So once you've made a few of these, you might want to assemble all these layers before you glue it together. But just for demonstration purposes, that's what we're doing today. All right, and then I've got to cut this square in half. And I've also gone ahead and cut out our butterfly images as well. So we can go ahead and adhere those down. So when you're doing your little triangles, I'm going to layer them a little bit, not quite at the seam, so that you get a little pop of color between them. And about the same distance on either side of the seam. Again, looking kind of at your outline, your outside borders there. And of course, you could decorate this however you like. but I've chosen to use these butterflies. Let me get my mini glue dots here. You could also use some liquid adhesive to glue these on. I'm simply going to put a couple of glue dots on the back of my center of my butterfly here. Let me just fold that one under. I didn't quite get it centered. It sticks so well. They're sticking to me. And then when you put your butterfly on there, you want to make sure that you're going to be okay with the envelope. Because this square is 4.5 inches wide, you don't want to stick out, or 4 1/4 inches wide, you don't want to stick out too much from the side, so it'll still fit in the envelope. Now, because it is a square card, and your envelope, if you're using a standard size, is going to be non-square, you'll have a little bit of room to play with. And I'll need to go back through and go ahead and pop the rest of these butterfly pieces out. There's a few of those little layers that are still in place there. And again, I'm just going to glue on the, I think I'll use the back side of that orange one. So I'm just going to adhere just the center there, and I've offset it a little bit just so you can see even more of the color. And then when you glue it down on the inside of your card, remember you've got movement on this card, so you only want to glue one side of whatever image you're putting on the inside of your card, in this case the butterfly, because you want it to be able to fold up nicely. So you see that is coming out, and then it just will pop right out when you open the card and set the card up. So that's our card today, quick and easy. I know I did have a couple of steps done in advance, but it's still a very simple card. I made a bunch of these because I had some older papers that I was trying to use up. Somehow I hoard them when they are still in the catalog, and then I have to use them up. So anyways, that's our card for today. Thanks for joining me, and go have some fun crafting today.